don't know what to say. I don't know how to start this. Me and Sophia, or as you guys know her as So, we are not on speaking terms right now. And before I start this video, I just want to put a trigger warning for that this video does mention thoughts of suicide, self-harm, and eating disorders. So let's just jump into why we're not on speaking terms right now. I don't know if this is gonna be a permanent thing. Or if we're gonna be back in a week being like, hey, we made up. But I just want to make this because me and Sophia have not spoken without fighting like this whole weekend and a few days. So on, I think, Thursday, we were talking and we both have a crush on the same guy, and I liked him for 7 years. She's liked him for only this year, and she was very on and off about him. And and I was kidding when I said this. She was like, okay, I'm gonna tell him. And I was like, okay, go for it. But I was completely joking, and I even told her before she told him, no, girl, I was joking. I whispered it to her. And then I saw her, because they, are in, the same desk area. I saw her pass a note to him. And she told me that she was telling him, and I've liked this guy since, kindergarten, and we're in grade almost 7. And I was obviously very upset about what she, had done. And, and obviously I was upset. My best friend, who I thought I was gonna go to the grave with, just, tried to get, with my crush. And so I told her at school, hey, I'm, pissed at you. Why the hell would you do that? A real friend would not do that. And after I had, cooled off a little bit and I had processed it, I texted her. And I was like, I will read you guys the text because I have my phone right here. So I said, hey, she said, hi, and I said, so, she said, I'm really sorry, I thought you were being serious when you told me to tell him that I liked him, and I was like, I whispered to you that I was joking, and she said, oh, I didn't, hear you, I was confused on what you were saying, and I was like, but still, I'm really, really sorry, plus he doesn't like me anyways, and I was like, our real friend would not do that, because guys, if a real friend does that to you, they're not your real friend. And she was like, and it was very, very wrong of me to do, and I know that. And I'm like, so why would you do that? Because you said, like, oh, because you said that it was okay, and I didn't really you were joking until you told me, and I already gave the note to him. And I just want to preface this by saying I had told her before that. Like, I had told her, like, a few minutes before she, like, handed him the note. And I said, yeah, but, like, why would you do that? Yeah, but what would you do, like, if he did like you? And I was like, be so real. And she said, ask you first, and then if you said no, I'd tell him, sorry, I don't feel the same way. And I said, be so effing for real. And then she said, I am. I LD. I think that was meant to say would. I don't know. Because bros first, and I would never to put a man before a woman because I like you more than him. And I said, like, bull. And she said it's not, and I'm like, yes, it is. No, it's not. I like you way more than him, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do this. Because by that point, it was 3:14, and I had to go. As you guys know, I do circus. I had to go to circus. I didn't get sick of my text in the car. She had, and it's like 4 paragraphs. Please, I seriously haven't known him for that long anyways, so one day if he does like me, I'll say no, because I still choose you over him any day, because you're my Eddie and he's just some guy compared to you. What about your show there? And I saw the Richie Toaster glasses and shirt. And I said, girl, like, imagine if I did that to you if you liked Rocco or something. Rocco's a guy in our class. And she said, yeah, I'd be pretty upset, but I wouldn't stop being friends with you. And that's happened to me before when I liked Carter and Harper knew, and she asked him if he liked her, and he said yes. And I said, well, we are different people. And she said, I don't. And I was like, exactly, that's... And she said, yes, I know, but before you told me, I didn't realize because I thought you were okay with it, but I know this was a big mistake. As you said that you would be single until 13, and you, number 1, lied, number 2, tried to get with my crush, and you broke girl code by letting her then boyfriend cheat on one of my friends. And she said he broke up with her before he said he liked me, but obviously that was a lie. I never stopped liking him at the time, and I did say that I'd be single till I'm 13, yeah. And I will, but when you said for me to ask him, I thought you'd be okay with it because you gave me permission first. It said, and you made a conscious decision to do something that you knew was effed up. Yeah, because I thought you were okay with it, and I, like, all caps said, I was kidding. Yeah, I know, but you told me after I already gave you the note, and I told her before she gave the note, so. And I said, you could have told him it was a joke, but you made the conscious decision to do something that not only hurt me, but something that has been done to you and that you knew hurt. And she said, I didn't even say that I liked him, I just asked him if he liked anyone in the class. No. And he said no, why? Then he said no, why? Then I said, because I thought you had a crush on someone in the class. Then he said, okay. He said, and then this was the next day, why weren't you at school? You didn't want to face me? And she said, no, I threw up. And I said, sure. And she said, I won't be there on Monday either because I'm going to the doctor's. And I said, whatever. And then she said, yeah, oh yeah, like, let's just shoot in for the show. And I said, like, one of our other friends is gonna come. And she said, okay, I'll let my parents know. And and then I called her and she didn't pick up, and she said, I can't call right now, why'd you call? And I said, we need to work out this out verbally. And then this is where I need to put in the trigger warning. So I called her up and I was like, hey, like, we need to work this out because, like, I cannot go like this. So we talked about everything that was happening, and I brought up the fact that, so you guys know that she has, like, moi moi or whatever, so she needs to drink a lot of water so then she doesn't, like, throw up and stuff. And I told her, like, it also pisses me off that you lied to me, like, about your health. And she was like, yeah, but, like, I was stressed out and I was really struggling. And I was like, girl, you know I struggled. Like, you guys all know that back in December 12th, I called 988 because I literally, like, was about to jump in front of a car and just, like, end it. Because, like, I personally, I struggle with anorexia, and I was not in a good, like, headspace at the time, and I'm better now, but I'm still, like, struggling with my eating and stuff. And before you guys call me dramatic, I've talked to two adult women about this, and they've all told me, like, yeah, no, like, that was, like, bitchy thing to do, like I don't get why she would do that. And yeah, so I told her, like, it's me talking on the phone, like, girl, like, I get it if you're struggling, and I completely understand you, like, I know what you're going through, but, like, I need you to, like, if you're struggling, reach out to someone, call 988. And she's like, yeah, my parents are gonna get me, like, a therapist to talk to someone. And I'm like, okay, good, but, like, I cannot keep on going through this. Like, I've helped her a lot with her mental health, but it's past the point where it's appropriate for me to help her because she's struggling so much. And, like, I told her, like, girl, like, when you get your shit together, call me, and I do really want you to get better, but this is past the point that it's, like, appropriate for me to deal with. And yeah, and then I hung up. And that was the end of a friendship that we both thought would last a lifetime. And I don't know what to say. It was a one-sided friendship, kind of. And this happened on Thursday, what day is it today? It's the 7th. So it happened the 4th of June. And our friendship, since our friendship video, like our friendship t-shirt video, had been falling apart anyways. And yeah. And that was the end of, again, a friendship that I thought would last forever. We both thought would last forever. We may be back, we may not be, but yeah. And if you're struggling with suicidal thoughts, eating disorders, or you just like need someone to talk to, I will put links in the description of hotlines that you can text or call. And yeah.